Hello JRPG fans! This is going to be the second in the game focus videos. I was at the EB Expo like 3 or 4 days ago, which is a big convention where I got to play a lot of really cool upcoming games, a lot of important upcoming games. And so this video is going to focus on Square Enix's, or I don't know how do you guys say Square Enix, by the way? I say Square Enix, but some people say Square Enix. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to focus on their offerings at the Expo. Just a little offshoot here, I have to give a big shout out to Bandai Namco Australia, because they are the ones that actually had the Square Enix games at the booth. Because, I don't know if you guys know this, but Square Australia doesn't exist on the map that Square Enix has in their head office. We just don't exist to them. Australia is a fantasy land to Square Enix. Yeah, Bandai Namco pretty much supply everything Square Enix down here. And so the good guys at Bandai Namco had all of the awesome Square Enix games set up at their booth. And the games I played Square Enix style were Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Remix, whatever other word they wanted to arbitrarily add on there, and Final Fantasy 15 and World of Final Fantasy. I played all three of them, and I played all three of them for a fairly long and good chunk of time. And I will start off with Kingdom Hearts 2.8. I mean, I don't really know what I'm going to say about this. It was fun, but so was Dream Drop Distance, which is the large chunk of the offering. There is another, there are actually two. I mean, I know a lot of people might not know this because they think, well, like, it's called 2.8 and we obviously had most of the series already covered in the other two HD remakes. But this one actually has two brand new Kingdom Hearts installments that obviously we've never played before, haven't seen, whatever. So one of them is just, you know, a big collection of HD cinematics, just like the other ones, which is called Unchained. It's like a part of the mobile game universe, Unchained Key. And the other one is a new title that takes place after Dream Drop Distance from Aqua's standpoint. And I mean, it's great. It's a great game. The gameplay was fun, and let me tell you, it's a lot better on a PlayStation 4 with a DualShock 4 in your hand than it is with a circle pad on a 3DS. Nothing against the 3DS, of course. I love that goddamn console, except maybe not the greatest for action RPG style gameplay. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Remix, thumbs up. Really good. Buy it. It's coming out. They just announced new limited edition for that. Comes with a pin, just like the other ones. Why not? Why not? It's probably the same price. The other ones were. And then I played World of Final Fantasy. And see this smile? That's a fake smile. But I was doing that for real at the Expo, because World of Final Fantasy made me so happy. So happy. It's like a real Final Fantasy game. It's cool. It's got like a really cool new turn-based battle system, which is, yeah, it works really well. The control scheme is really good. The characters are fantastic. The mechanics, there's so much going on constantly while I was playing. Just new tutorials were coming up about certain things, even though it was like a demo mode. There was just so much to take in, so it's hard for me to convey that and cover that, because I didn't get a whole lot of it in detail. But World of Final Fantasy was really good. The turn-based battling, it had sort of this it used like both sticks, analog sticks during battle. So you held it up and that was like the attack, or you held it down, and yeah, the control scheme felt really well. The turn-based battling, you actually have a bar on the side, so it's kind of it's very much like having individual ATB bars, but it's not. You actually got little portraits, you and the enemy, on a little bar in the side of the screen, and they actually like race each other to the top to see who gets to move first. It was really fun. The battling was really fun. The mechanics outside of that, it was mainly just like dungeon crawling from the demo that I was playing, and there are some cool mechanics where you can actually, you've got a full-size character, but you can actually shrink them down to chibi mode, and they become cute little characters. The cutscenes, there were a couple of cutscenes I experienced during the demo, and they were really well done. The art style is fantastic. The whole direction of that game, I am way more excited to play, to own World of Final Fantasy and play World of Final Fantasy than I am for Final Fantasy 15. That's just straight up pure honesty. I am in the camp that, like, I mean, I'm not saying like definitely, you know, like Final Fantasy has to be turn-based like some people, but the action stuff that they've got going on, they just haven't found that, they just haven't hit the sweet spot for that yet, and I really think they should just give up. Anyway, well, that's World of Final Fantasy. Great. Art style, fantastic. Combat, fantastic. Cutscenes, fantastic. Thumbs up. And that brings me to Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15, I love Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy. I mean, what can I say? Here's Beatrix is tattooed on my arm. So is Kuja from Final Fantasy 9. I mean, and I have other Final Fantasy tattoos. I love Final Fantasy. One of my favorite series. Final Fantasy 9 was my favorite. I love 7 though. I love 10. You know, and Final Fantasy 15, I just don't know. I could go on for so long about why I just sad, why I just weep for what I played at the expo and what I played in the episode Duske. What the hell is the battle system? It's not a fun battle system. It's not a responsive battle system. The camera is not that great. It's just not. The combat is not good. It's not good. And I don't know why Square Enix are continually pushing this direction when they just need to revamp. Like, if they want an action battle system, they need to go in a completely different direction. They need to stop trying to combine their old ATB system with this new thing they've got going on. It's just not working. It's just not working. I mean, to look at a system like Crisis Core, which was actually rather enjoyable and good, a good battle system, and Lightning Returns was okay, I guess, not the greatest, but they were way better than what we have in Final Fantasy 15. I don't know why they have to push in this direction. I don't know why. I mean, the reasoning they gave was, or at least the reasoning they're giving for they're definitely changing the goddamn battle system in the Final Fantasy VII Remaster is because a turn-based battle system just isn't realistic enough. Who the hell is playing a Final Fantasy game to play something that's realistic? I mean, honestly. Which brings me to the second complaint for Final Fantasy 15. It is, like, too realistic. Like, where is the fantasy? I'm like driving around in a car with just some bros, and they're not even that wildly dressed. Like, they look like just actual clothes that people wear in this world. And the world didn't look really strange or alien or technologically superior. It just looked like our world. Why? Why do I want to play that? Why do I want to play a Final Fantasy game basically like my life? I don't know. That's why I'm sad. Other things, I mean, good things about Final Fantasy 15. The voice acting was really good. The music was really good. The fact that the radio has like 300 different tracks from all of the old Final Fantasy games is just amazing, because Theater Rhythm is like one of my favorite games on 3DS because of all the Final Fantasy music, which is amazing. And even the music that wasn't like the old tracks was really good. The demo was running on Xbox Ones, and I don't know if it was just the Xbox One or what, but it looked like arse. It looked like bad. Like, it was a noticeable graphic downgrade from Episode Duske, which I've played on my PlayStation 4. It was definitely a noticeable downgrade. Yeah, it didn't look good. It was very, like, blurry, extremely blurry, and lots of jaggies. Like, it had, like, no AA anti-aliasing. Yeah, that was another downside. I just really hope we move in a different direction after this Final Fantasy, like, for main series titles. Like, why don't we go in the direction of World of Final Fantasy? Because it seems like much more of a Final Fantasy game rather than just... I mean, this might as well, in all honesty, and this isn't... It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I don't just want to seem like I'm just shitting on Final Fantasy 15. I've pre-ordered, I've got the Ultimate Collector's Edition, like that super expensive Collector's Edition, the limited one with the statue and everything. I've got that. I'm going to be getting it, because it's a Final Fantasy game. And I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this game. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. But this, for all I know, could be a totally new franchise. Totally new franchise from Square Enix that is totally not Final Fantasy related in any way. And apart from, like... And you could even pass off the stuff that is vaguely Final Fantasy-like as just, like, Easter eggs from their other series, in all honesty. And it makes me really annoyed, because it's not as if Square Enix are lacking in other franchises, and it's not as if they're lacking in action RPG. They have a whole series called Kingdom Hearts that is an action RPG. Why are they... I don't understand why they're trying to shoehorn that into Final Fantasy. There's always Dragon Quest, though, the trusty old JRPG goodness. And Final Fantasy 15 will be a good game. It will be a good game. The characters are good, despite them, you know, not having the most interesting designs and that sort of thing. But the story and the characters, from what I've played so far, are good. And the universe will be vaguely interesting, I'm sure. And it will be a good game. I just don't know about the direction that it's going in at the moment. So, still, like a thumbs middle. Because it's still going to be a great game, but man, wasted potential. It could be so much better if they just went back to, you know, like what made Final Fantasy great. Which isn't necessarily a turn-based battle system, but man, they just need to start from scratch on this whole battle system thing. Either come up with something new, or go back to something that works. That's all I'm saying, Square Enix. So, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, big thumbs up. World of Final Fantasy, massive thumbs up. Buy that game. It's coming out really soon. Buy it. No excuses. Get it on both PS4 and PlayStation Vita if you have to. Get it on both. Play it all the time. Amazing game. Final Fantasy 15, still buy it. Still good. Like this. Get it. I'll see you all soon.